understandably, the artificial intelligence story is kind of dominating the papers when it comes to the European Union, along with some other stuff that's going on, mainly Putin. But there's also a lot of commentary on this, and the main point that's kind of coming up over and over again is, and that's across publications and countries, is, well, how are they going to actually uphold it? Are they able to uphold it? And is this, kind of just for show? And I have my own thoughts on this, but I'd like to just go through some of the criticisms out there first as well. No one is as critical of European Union policy as the British media. And you can say what you want about like different media outlets in the European Union, but my God, like the Brexit has been active since January, and there is not like a single, including the British Broadcasting Corporation that the taxpayer pays for. This is a public service corporation. And the reporting on Europe and the just like the stories that they run is so biased every single time. Completely at odds in terms of what you see in the European press and the world press. So either the world is wrong or the United Kingdom media has like a lot of bias, even in places where it really should. And you see this in the BBC, like in an article on the BBC website, you have this title: European Union seeks to limit artificial intelligence in society. What? Oh, because artificial intelligence and zero regulation around that is like a wonderful idea. Especially now that you're not part of the European Union, so your people are at the mercy of people like Boris Johnson and his corrupt idiot government. And other governments who came before him who are just like him. Yeah, congratulations, BBC. Now you don't have to limit AI or surveillance or anti-terrorism surveillance, anything. Like, there's no limit on anything now. Like, you just go for it. Not that Europeans care about getting this kind of coverage here. The problem, of course, is the British people. And even if you voted for Brexit personally, this is not about what you did. The Brexit Party lied to its people. Those are lies. People voted based on lies in good faith. They thought they were doing the right thing, and it's not their fault. They were cheated into this situation, and it's like getting worse and worse and worse. And the problem with British media is that they're not really acknowledging this. They're failing. The British media as a whole is a failure. And I also include in that left media, or media that presents itself as like somehow a little bit more liberal than centrist liberal, like The Guardian. I mean, that's like a disaster. The only good media that I see at all that does any kind of good reporting these days in the United Kingdom is the Socialist Workers' Party. It's got a lot of international takes. It's got a lot of good reporting. And it doesn't have the kind of non-transparent bias that the BBC presents and other publications. It's kind of laughable. But this is kind of an aside, and it's, maybe it will help someone in the United Kingdom to maybe consider looking at other media from anywhere else in the world, that like, just anything that's coming out of Germany or an alternative viewpoint, because there's just not a lot of a variety going on in the UK at the moment. Okay, and there's another article in the New Scientist. The New Scientist is a UK-based pop science publication, and the title is, "Can the EU prevent an artificial intelligence dystopia? Question mark. That's in the New Scientist. They even And like all of it is about, well, these people, like, they can't prevent this. This is not going to be upheld. The European Union is full of BS, whatever. And a lot of the slant also in the BBC, it seems, is for complete, unbridled, open access for AI in our society, regardless of risk to human life, well-being, and equality and freedom, and, you know, all these other things that the European Union cares about. And they interviewed this like tech / legal academic, Lillian Edwards of Newcastle. They didn't give her a title, but I believe she's a professor. And this is what she does. This is like a serious academic speaking on like the actual European Commission. Yeah, this is like a serious academic speaking on a very important pillar of the European Union. And she's speaking for the New Scientist, and this is what she says. She says, "I applaud the ambition, but you can't imagine it getting through in the state." She says, in this state. And she basically says that this is going to anger the tech companies. Those are her words. She says it's harder to regulate with artificial intelligence. She's comparing that to the normal European market, the way that the European market functions, because it does have a lot of regulations. And she says, Lillian Edwards says, that's much harder to do with AI, as it's not always a simple product. No shit, Sherlock. You're heading inexorably towards a trade war with Silicon Valley or weak enforcement. Oh, Lillian. Oh my gosh. Did the European Union go against your overlords at Silicon Valley? Like, which part? Like, I mean, at this point, like, is that like a shell for Silicon Valley? Is it for the free market? Is it for everything? And these are leading academics who, you know, have a lot of voice and a lot of say in the ways that this kind of knowledge is disseminated, replicated, and taught. This should not be your main consideration, Lillian. Your main consideration should be how to help the European Union to protect the people from the types of risks that this artificial intelligence poses, because it poses real risks, and we've seen it all before. And even in the United Kingdom, even in Newcastle, you're also 1 degree of separation away from what happened on this continent that you're still a part of, whether you voted for Brexit or not, what happened here in the last century. Oh no, but the overlords, but there's going to be a war with Silicon Valley, or it's going to be impossible to enforce. Then these academic bodies and these academics need to work together to make sure that it is enforceable. And that new generations of people in tech don't just go after their own profits and short-term goals and the things that will make them the new Zuckerberg through this like horrible dystopian neoliberal vision of what it means to be successful. But we teach people that what we're doing, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you work in a warehouse, whether you're an engineer, whether you're, I don't know, some woman on the internet, that all of these things matter, and that it all, like, my contribution to society comes back to me tenfold. And everyone's important. And without this kind of collaboration, we're all lost. No one wins. But no, we fuel these egos and these crazy dystopian visions of, you know, having this like a mad genius in charge of the robotics of the world. And here's Lillian Edwards reminding us that none of this is going to work because Silicon Valley is going to go to war with us.